Lead with purpose and create lasting impact. Welcome to the Kunateh Impact Show, where leadership, business, and legacy come together. I'm Abdul Kunateh, and every day we bring you practical insights to help you lead stronger, think bigger, and create lasting impact. Imagine this. Your product team calls at 6 p.m. A critical launch is scheduled for Monday, and overnight telemetry from a small beta shows a pattern no one expected. Data is sparse, executives want a recommendation by morning, and the wrong call could cost revenue or customer trust. You have hours, not weeks. What do you decide? And how do you decide with enough confidence to move forward? Today, I'll teach 3 frameworks you can use right away when time, data, and certainty don't align. First, how to separate reversible versus irreversible choices so you know where to invest time and who needs to sign off. Second, how to run focused mini experiments. I'll give you a 60-minute template that produces directional data. Third, how to build asymmetric reserves, small buffers and decision rights, process and resources that protect teams and preserve optionality. By the end of this episode, you'll have signal checks, a 60-minute experiment plan, and 1 action you can take in the next 24 to 72 hours. Insight 1, reversible versus irreversible. Start by asking 2 quick questions. Can we undo this change within a reasonable window? And what's the cost of reversal in time, money, and reputation? If a choice is reversible, treat it like an experiment. Move faster, delegate more, and lower approval friction. If it's irreversible, slow down, gather cross-functional input, and escalate appropriately. Here's a simple example from operations. Shifting a production batch size. If you can adjust batch sizes next cycle, that's reversible. Try the smaller batch. Measure defect rates. Adjust. If changing a vendor contract locks you in for a year and exposes supply, that's irreversible. Pause. Get procurement and legal involved. Hiring is another clear case. A stopgap contractor to cover a key role is reversible. Hiring a senior leader with a multi-year package is largely irreversible. Allocate your time accordingly. Faster for stopgaps. Deliberate for long-term commitments. This mental shift alone reduces analysis paralysis. Instead of asking, how do we be 100% sure? Ask, is this reversible? And act on the answer. Insight 2, mini experiments. When data is scarce, design experiments that convert our uncertainty into directional data quickly. I use a 60-minute experiment template. Short, focused, low cost. Step 1, define the hypothesis in 1 sentence. Step 2, choose a single metric that will move directionally if your hypothesis is right. Step 3, run the smallest possible change that tests the idea. Step 4, collect and interpret the signal, not definitive proof. Step 5, decide, scale, iterate, or stop. A concrete template. In 60 minutes, convene the 2 people closest to the problem. Spend 10 minutes agreeing the hypothesis. If we change X, we expect Y to move by Z. Spend 20 minutes implementing the smallest change. Toggle a feature flag, redirect 5% of traffic, run a quick script. Spend 20 minutes observing early signals and logging results. Spend 10 minutes making a decision. Stop, scale, or run a follow-up that improves signal clarity. The goal is directional insight, not perfect causality. That early signal reduces regret and lets you trade speed for learning. Insight 3, asymmetric reserves. These are small safety buffers you build in authority, process, and resources so teams can move fast without fragile exposure. Examples. Temporary approval limits that allow product managers to act up to a dollar threshold, a try and revert clause in vendor agreements, or a 10% contingency in launch budgets held by operations. The reserve is intentionally smaller than the total risk. You don't eliminate downside. You limit it while keeping options open. I once worked with a leader who faced a sudden vendor failure. Because they had a 1-quarter emergency reserve, 2 temporary contracts, and a modest runway, the team switched suppliers in days and kept the product live. No heroics, just prior planning. Asymmetric reserves are about preparing small, practical options that preserve time and people when things go sideways. Practical application. A product launch with an unclear performance signal. Step 1, classify decisions. Feature toggle changes are reversible. Pricing changes are often irreversible. Step 2, run a 60-minute experiment on a narrow cohort with the toggle and a simple success metric like engagement change. Step 3, Assign asymmetric reserves. Allow the PM authority to route 5% of traffic, hold a small budget for immediate remediation, and document rollback steps. After 60 minutes, you'll have directional data, and you've limited downside with the reserve plan. Recap and key takeaways. First, reversible versus irreversible. Use it to allocate time and approvals. Second, mini experiments. Run 60-minute tests to create directional data, not absolute proof. Third, asymmetric reserves. Build small buffers in decision rights, process, and resources to protect teams and preserve optionality. Remember, these are lenses, not rules. Context matters. Escalate when stakes exceed your defined thresholds. Reflection and one action step. This week, pick one pending decision and run the reversible check. If it's reversible, design a 60-minute experiment using the template I outlined. If it's irreversible, document who needs to be involved and set a clear escalation timeline. Quick reflection. Where are you defaulting to delay instead of designing to learn? If you found value today, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes on leading through uncertainty. Thank you for listening to Kunateh Impact. If today's episode added value, share it with someone who's building their legacy. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and creating impact.